All right. Last but not least, we have fractional exponents, and fractional exponents are roots. Okay. So the way we want to think about this is like, for example, the square root of x is the same thing as x to the 1/2. The cube root of x is the same thing as x to the 1/3. You are undoing this. The inverse, this is the actual inverse relationship to your to doing an exponent. So I'll give you an example. So like for example, whereas 4 um is 2 squared, we could also think about the square root of 4, of course, as being 2 2. Okay. So I'll give you the example kind of with this. Basically, you can think about it. 4 to the 1/2 is 2 because 2 squared is 4. Right. And so that's kind of the relationship that we're working with. If I did 2 squared to the 1/2, well, think about what we've been talking about. You're raising something to a power. So that means you do what with those two powers? You multiply them together. So if you're multiplying them together, you can think about this as 2 times 1/2, which is 1, which of course is 2. So you can see how they cancel each other out. They're the inverse relationship of each other. All right. Whatever number here is here, and then if there's no number in that little part of the radical, then you can think about that as just being 2 automatically. And that number goes to the denominator. And then whatever number is your exponent, so like for example, like with this one, we have, I know I'm a little out of order, but it's okay. Basically with this one, this would be x to the 5/3. Once again, the denominator being the exponent for the denominator being 3, and the numerator exponent, you can think about the exponent on the x is going to be your numerator. But the same rules apply. So once again, if you're multiplying two things with the same base, you can just add those two together. So you end up with x to 3/2 plus 1/2. This gives you x to the 4/2, which gives you x squared. So still not too bad. All right, I'm gonna give you a minute. I want you to try to do this one on your own. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and knock this one out. So we got x to the 4th to the 1/2. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say, okay, this is basically x to the 4th times 1/2. Well, what's 4 times 1/2? X squared. Not too bad. All right, guys, the last few problems that we're going to do, we've got x to the negative 1/2 times x cubed, y to the 6th. So this is kind of mixed methods. First thing we're going to do, I'm going to think of this as basically this is going to be x to the negative 2 times, and we got x to the 18th, y to the 6th. Negative 2 plus 18, because remember we're multiplying here. Multiplying bases, so you add the exponents. So this would be x to the 16th, y to the 6th. This next one, you can even think about this, rewrite it as xy to the 6th, and this whole thing to the 1/2. All right. And so you can distribute that exponent out, which gives you the square root of x and then y cubed. But a thing there is that you need to think about y cubed as being like, I like to put it in front when I'm typing something in just in case. Because sometimes a like computer program can think that the y is actually under that root. Remember, it's not, because we had x to the 1/2, x to the 1/2, right? It didn't 1 doesn't go into 2, right? And so you weren't able to get a nice even um, whole number there. But 6 did go into 2, which is where we were able to get a whole number, so we didn't have to put it under the radical. And then last but not least, AB to the -1 divided by this. So here's what I'm going to think about it like this. ABC to the -1. I can think about that as putting A, B, and C all under the denominator. Another thing I can think about actually is doing this right here. If you take a minute, you'll think about why this is true. Multiplying, but if you divide by something, your divisor, right? Your divisor, if I multiplied it, it means I'm putting that thing in the denominator. Either way, this is going to be in the denominator. So we got A, B squared C cubed. It's going in the denominator regardless. And if I put it all together, I'm going to end up with 1 over, let's see. You got 1A, then you got A cubed, so it's A to the 4th. You got 1B, then you got B to the 6th, so that's B to the 7th. And then the same thing, you got C, and then C cubed is going to be C to the 4th. Now, I did that last one intentionally quickly because I wanted you to go back and see if you can justify all the steps yourself. But guys, thank you so much. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you found it very helpful. Please continue to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can see when we post videos. And then put in the comments some topics you would like for us to see, for us to go over. You can also get a PDF version of the worksheets and guided notes for this lesson in my Teachers Pay Teacher store, which will be in the description below. And check out one of these other videos that's popping up on the screen right now. And guys, just keep going, keep working, keep pushing. Math is hard, but we're here to help.